Competition. They've played 3 minutes, they've already got 12 on the board, and that's drawn some substitutions for the Adelaide 36ers. Withers coming in.
Sotto sits down. The Wildcats have got 3 more games on the road after this, and then they will... Captain takes the bump from Cotton.
And that strategic foul there, he did that well to avoid the unsportsmanlike, and Perth fans, and I'm sure Scott Morrison would be wrapped in this. 10 of their games this season, they've trailed it by 10 in the first half. They've had these patches, particularly early on, where they've been poor, the Perth Wildcats, but they've. I think they would have spoken about that, because you can't keep giving teams that type of an advantage, and they've shown today. And there's a good little flex cut and almost a three-point play by the Adelaide 36ers, but I'm sure it's something that Perth have been talking about, because they rectify that problem. They've probably got another win or two in there. There's Cam Bairstow. Just some illness has struck him down, and that is a big blow. Recruit of the season, in my view. Cam Bairstow.
Recruit of the season. He's had an exceptional year. He's been their best player and most consistent this season.
Yanni Wetzel in that conversation.
Flat out baller.
The problem with Yanni,
recruit of the season,
he was so good last season, so he's improved and he's been fantastic. But when you're at that level, Cam Bairstow is someone that no one wanted. And not because of his skill sets, but just because of the injury problems he's had throughout the course of his career.
Travis. Michael Fraser onto the court, trying to get himself going. That pass a little ambitious for Wagstaff, and here goes McCarron. Johnson hands off to Mojave. King steps back for 3. It's no good.
They just cannot cut a break. Right now, the Adelaide 36ers, 1 of 11, 0 of 5 from threes.
And with not putting points on the board, it puts too much pressure on your defense. And this team is rolling right now. Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
5 of 6 from outside to start the game as Cotton makes his second 3.
This, by far, is their best start in the first quarter. And as you talked about, the struggles early all season for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. I'm not sure blazing away. Half their shots have come from the three-point line. They're 0 of 6.
Cotton dancing into the paint. Pass off Wagstaff last. Todd Blanchfield with 3 made threes in a quarter for the first time this season.
Okay, with 4 points on the board, lack of offense, obviously. 1 of 12 from the field. How is Dusty Hannahs not in the game? Another guy that can create off the dribble.
Well, that's right, particularly when you're struggling on the defensive end. So the only way in these circumstances, and they're white hot, 5 of 6 from the three-point line, that's exceptional shooting. The only way you deal with that is you've got to try and keep scoring, keep the scoreboard ticking over. So I know Dusty's had his critics on the defensive end, but right now they'd be looking to find a way to get some offense going, and he's an answer for that. And well, that's come off the head. So I reckon that review is going to go the way of the Perth Wildcats, because that looked...
Well, this is a coach's challenge, Stewie. So Perth are challenging this call.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're going to win.
You think that's come off the scone of Daniel Johnson, do you?
It certainly looked like it. Am I seeing things?
No, I don't know.
It looked like it comes straight off the bonds. Have a look here. Bang, bang, bang. And I don't think there was any further contact there after that with Wagstaff. So
I wonder what our international viewers are thinking right now as we've just got Scon and Bonts into the conversation in the last 10 seconds. I don't think Corey knows what we're talking about.
Corey's he's Australian.
That
is a food.
Yeah, it's the food.
Like a bread type.
Yeah.
No, but the scone is also the bonds.
Oh, all right.
Which is your head.
Or you could call it the 3KZ.
Coach's challenge is successful. The call out of bounds to be overturned. With the white ball with 15 seconds on the shot clock, they keep their coach's challenge and time out.
As predicted, they won that. They won that challenge.
3KZ.
That's rhyming slang. Maybe people in other states aren't aware of the 3K.
It's like having ostentatious in commentary this afternoon. Perth get the ball back, and the challenge was successful. Travers well short on his 3.
Travers is another one. Right now, there's a lot of scouts. We've heard it mentioned on commentary already. A lot of scouts in Australia right now to have a look at the next stars. And Luke Travers would be also coming under the scrutiny. In fact, the San Antonio Spurs sent a guy out to their last game. And there's with us an offense finally from the three-point line.
Read an interesting article during the week. Kane Pittman from ESPN spoke with Danny Mills, the general manager of the Wildcats, on a number of subjects, but he said how exciting it is for Perth to have Luke Travers. Wagstaff had Fraser backdoor. Now Law misses on the three. How exciting it is for them to be able to nurture a potential NBA prospect and be part of the journey for Luke Travers.
Yeah, he's got the athleticism. It's that shot that right now is not falling. It's not a broken shot. As Detch goes in for the little short chippy and the Adelaide 36ers start to get that scoreboard ticking over. Travers' shot's not broken. It just needs the repetition, a lot of work into it, and that'll naturally get better. Touch. It's one thing to have a good technique. It's the touch that sometimes takes a little while to... And I'm not saying his technique's perfect, but it is certainly not broken. And you can see how they would look beyond that. And although his shooting numbers this season, Luke Travers, aren't off the charts, they would feel that with that stroke that they'd be able to get that to a high level.
Here he is. Top of the key, Fraser. There's the mismatch down low and misses Majuk altogether.
And here's a stat, and plus minuses can be a little misleading, but here's a stat on Fraser that's not good. During the past 4 games, Perth, with him on the floor, they're minus 52. With him on the bench, they're plus 48. So the last 4 games haven't been good to Michael Fraser as he tries to find his way and still developing a role.
Chook did well to keep SOTTO off the glass. Now Fraser. Chook reeled that in. Foul will be on the floor. Todd Withers. Big Law's sitting down. Jamie Perlman coaching Adelaide again today. CJ Bruton, the coach, is in COVID protocols at the moment. Blanchfield knocks down another one. That's 4 threes in the opening quarter.
Yeah, when he gets in these grooves, as we mentioned, the last 4 games only averaging the 5 points, but on any given night, he can explode, and that's what he's doing here in Adelaide. And there's that scoring you're talking about on the side.
That's what we wanted to see. At least he's in the game now, producing. First field goal on his first attempt. And that man, it is a beautiful thing to watch when he is in a zone. Any shooter, but when Todd Blanchfield
has 14 of the 23 points. This is how you find your way out of a funk. SOTTO kept it in. Shot clock at 5 for McCarron. Hannes is going to be forced into a tough shot.
And he makes it. Dusty, when he first came here, we all expected him that the 3 points was going to be his strength, but and he can knock down the 3 ball, but what he is not, he's not that flat-out 3-point shooter that we thought he was going to be. He's all about, hang on a second. Todd Blanchfield
cooking,
doing something special.
16 in the first.
Deary me.
And that's a bad turnover. Blanchfield's up ahead. Travers finds him. Blanchfield's fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2. 16 points on 6 of 6 shooting.
In 6 minutes of play. Wow.
He has been way too open. He's been able to catch and shoot. Comes off those little curls, and he made that mid-range. This time is at the end of the transition, but just getting back to Dusty and how he's more now a penetrator. Those little floaters getting into the paint, into traffic, and I think it's a fact that here in Australia, they've been able to get out and extend the defense, and he needs a bit of time to get his 3-ball off. And he's not a mad gunner like we thought he was going to be. And he's adjusted well. to be able to create. And Todd Blanchfield, this is something special.
Averaging 9.5 points a game. He's got 17 and a quarter. And the Wildcats lead by 13. Duffelmeyer, nice take. That'll be good for his confidence.
A strong finish, getting to the basket.
Yeah, they've got to. Adelaide have got to weather this storm. They need to pick up their defense, absolutely. And here we see Duffelmeyer get into the cup. They need to pick up their defense, no doubt about it. But some of these shots you're going to live with because they're just in that frame of mind where they're white hot. So you've got to weather this storm, keep it as tight as you can, and they've been able to find the answer the last 3 or 4 minutes on the offensive end.
It's true.
Travers pulls the trigger. Drewy?
Yeah, that's not good.
Explain that.
I think right now, when you know that there are NBA people and you know the take on him is that, well, perimeter shooting is perhaps not his strength. It's almost like he's out there trying to prove us all that he can do. And there's Hannah's.
Hasn't missed. 3 of 3 from the field. Gabe, they should have put him in the game early.
Well, we're all geniuses in hindsight. I think that he has certainly shown what he's capable of doing on the offensive end.
Travers got Johnson in the air. Soto met him at the summit and fouls.
Great attack to the basket. He was going up to finish aggressive. Kai Soto met him upstairs. He gets fouled. He goes to the line for 2.
Yeah, coming off after he had the 3 ball and he's already missed 2, and Soto goes up straight hands, and gee, on the replay, Soto might have been a little unlucky on that one. But good adjustment by Travers.
It was a good adjustment. DJ went out like he hit his last 2 shots. You know, the scouting report on Luke is soft closeout, make him
correct.
Short. So DJ
DJ did have the short closeout, but the feet just weren't as active as they needed to be in their sliding and stopping that baseline drive.
3.2 seconds left.
Foul. 12.
And there's a foul called here on Perth, which is going to be bonus free throws for Adelaide on the quarter time buzzer.
The best one. Got it, clip right there.
Oh.
Right there.
Didn't see where the foul was from. They've called it on Todd Blanchfield.
We're down, Scott.
well, off to a slow start. Adelaide, they picked it up offensively.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, they were just terrific. They were 1 of 11, and they've end up making 6 out of their next 8 shots. So they started really poorly in putting the ball in the hoop.
For them to be potentially, he hits this down 7 points. They'd be happy with that. Dusty Hannah's off the bench with 6.
The Perth Wildcats are in front at quarter time for just the 2nd time in their last 10 games. But if you're an Adelaide supporter, it could have been a whole lot worse. They're only down 7 after 1 on Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. time on Sunday Hoops at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The Perth Wildcats shot the lights out. Todd Blanchfield on fire in the opening quarter with 17 points, the best of any player in a first quarter in this season. But Adelaide have managed to hang in there. The winner of our $50 Kmart gift card, Maddie Roach. Maddie loves playing basketball for her school team with her friends and is still celebrating being back-to-back champs. How good is that, Maddie? And she also goes for the Wildcats.
Just needs a little work on the between the legs dribble, though. Got to keep those feet planted on the floor and just cross it through the middle of the legs, and away you go. But, that's a beauty. She's a beauty.
Corey, I'd say Adelaide would take a 7-point deficit at quarter time, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would, especially with that slow start. First 5 minutes of that game, it wasn't looking good at both ends.
Cotton, 6 points on 2 of 3 so far. Nice pass underneath for Norton.
That's how you just create off the dribble.
We're talking about Hannah's not starting again this second quarter. After he gets going, they decide to make a change as well.
Don't take your headset off.
And the same
Stay,
with
Corey, stay.
Same with Withers, which is...
I don't understand. That's the guy that came off the bench and
gave you a spark.
Gave you a spark.
Cotton for 3. Not that time. Manny Malou out there starting the second quarter. Dufemire in the starting lineup today. Malou hands off to Det. Shot clock at 10. Tries to bank it home. Loose ball falls to Johnson. Law did well to not give away a foul.
And we see this a lot with the Perth Wildcats more recently, where they go with this really small lineup, and it puts a lot of pressure on the defense because there's so many shooters out in the floor, so many guys that can put it on the deck and create shots off the bounce. And where you might be able to exploit it is down the other end, and with DJ down low, perhaps that also could be a way. The little game of chess between the two coaches.
Tough to see who's going to guard that man right there, because he's been in really good form over the last 2 games. Vic Law is who I'm talking about.
No Matt Hodgson today for the Wildcats, out with a calf injury for the next week or 2. Kevin White also not playing today due to family reasons. For Adelaide, we mentioned earlier, Cam Bairstow is ill and not taking part today. Sunday Detch off the window.
Tough take off the bounce.
And we also can't forget about the long-term absence of Isaac Humphries as well for the Adelaide 36ers.
And when you have an unselfish superstar like Cotton, that just makes this team and that duo that much more difficult to defend.
Luke couldn't tip it in. That's caught a Perth hand on the way out.
Last 2 possessions, Bryce Cotton off the dribble, just creating and finding his teammates for easy, high-percentage looks. So tough. Draws 3.
So you can't... Manny Malou, his intent is good. He sees... When you're guarding the screener, your responsibilities are for the help, but you also got to understand your personnel. And Vic Law is out there.
I'm not leaving him.
That's, well, at the very least, you just stunt. When Vic Law is that wide open, he's going to make more than he misses. He comes up a little sore.
And on top of it, I'd rather take a 2 than a 3. I could match 2s.
Well, a wide open Vic Law 3 is always going to be pretty high percentage, and not sure. Oh, he looks like, did he get one in the eye?
He has, yep.
Oh no, it's either the pork pie or the Tom Boulder. It's because he looked like he was using the shot.
Can you help Corey out with that?
I'm lost. Back over with Corey, educate him on the rhyming pork pie. Didn't look too serious though, so hopefully it's not.
Hiram Harris into the game. On the scoreboard straight away.
Good hustle by the young fella. Providing some activity on the old boards.
Here's the look. Manny Malou couldn't quite see what it was.
Everyone just got a bit caught up.
I think it might be the eye.
Yeah, pork pie.
That's the one.
Cotton Steps back on Duffelmeyer. Foul.
Man.
Let's have another look here. Bottom left of your screen.
Manny Malou's left arm.
Bang! Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as painful as that is, we all worry about concussions and head injuries, so that can, but if it's just that little stinger that you get, you'd like to, oh yeah, you've got a bit of a shiner there, so hopefully it's just one of those little stingers that hasn't rattled the cage too much, so we can see him back out here.
It's definitely blown up, though, that eye. Look at that.
With the cut man in the boxing, they still have that.
34-24 on Sunday Hoops, still to come today. Sydney and Cairns up next. In Kudos Bank Arena, the Kings are red hot right now. I think they're your new team, aren't they, Corey, the Sydney Kings?
They are my new team. My favorite player is on that team. Two of them.
Who's your other one? Jalen Adams?
And Cooks.
Dusty Hannah's back in. Another offensive rebound by Hiram Harris. Couldn't finish that time.
You've got to be pretty stiff to have not been Corey's flavour of the month at some stage over either the season or the last 2 years. He tends to just jump on and appreciate when people are going through a hot spell and they become his team.
You play good, I talk good.
That's
it.
it.
You play different, I talk different.
I like it.
And they have the easiest road home.
They do. A lot of road games, though.
Adelaide 1 of 11 from outside. Three ball not happening for them. It's certainly happening for the league's best player.
Listen, he is so difficult to defend. He catch you on your back foot, he can pull up. You guard him tight, he can get around you. Draw help, he dishes.
8 of 14 now from the three-point line for the Perth Wildcats.
11 for Cotton, 17 for Blanchfield. It's Norton downhill, feeds Majuk. More free throws coming. Let's check in courtside with John Casey.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I just spoke with the support staff of the Perth Wildcats. Vic Law is okay. He's just taken a knock to the eye, but he's passed all the concussion protocols that they ran through with him. And he said he's fine, so he's moved back up to the top of the bench, and he should be able to come back into the game. Just on Mike Kelly, the assistant coach, obviously he's just returned from representing as assistant coach with the Boomers, and great to be back in the fold with the Perth Wildcats, and congrats on Mike and Kyle Zunic as well from the Wildcats, who was part of that team that did so well in those World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, they look good, the young Boomers, didn't they? Kyle Zunic out there in the lineup today.
Yep, they did. And so did some of the veterans they had around him. Nick Kay was really sharp. And Reece Vague.
He's improved as a player, hasn't he?
Did some things. And well done to Coach Beveridge as well. Rob Beveridge did a great job of putting that team together with very limited penetration. And Daniel Johnson, they're not going to give him the continuation. They're saying the foul was before he collected the ball and picked it up, so that'll be from the side. Let's have a look. Majuk, there's a foul. Oh dear.
Ooh, that could have counted.
Could have. We probably wouldn't have been arguing too much if it had counted. Always one of the close ones.
Withers gets inside, misses from close range, gets another opportunity. Now Hannah's high off the glass. He misses as well. 9 of 33. The Adelaide 36ers from the field. Frazier turns the corner. Nice pass for Norton. Good look. Doesn't knock it down. 39-24 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The Wildcats can drop to 5th if they lose today. Cotton crosses over. A little slow to get up, so Adelaide had the extra number up the floor.
Oh dear.
Not now, they don't. There's Bryce.
Oh, still got a little bounce in those legs.
Went home, recharged in the bed.
Excuse me?
What'd you say?
Recharged in the bed. It's the whole thing, man, when you go home.
I think that you're referring to the nice comfy doona and the
100%.
just up and nice lift. With the two hands.
Bryce still got bounce.
And that is just a really, really poor pass, though. You're coming down, you've got a numerical advantage. But this man here, Top Landshield,
Set the tone early. 6 of 6 from the field. 4-4 from the land of plenty. Came out and set the tone in this first quarter.
always nice when your first couple are wide open. That's a little bit more contested, but you've already got yourself going. And then the more difficult quick ones become a whole lot easier. And you see each and every one of these, notice the common element. Not once did he have to put the ball on the floor and shoot it off the bounce. It's all catch and shoot stuff, and 17 points. And just the free throw is the only glitch in his shooting this afternoon. He has a capacity to do both, as we've seen in the last couple of games, the capacity just to lose his way a little bit, and perhaps be prepared to defer to others. And then also, when he starts to get on a roll, he's one of the toughest to stop. He's got good size, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". So you put someone small on him to run around and close him out, and you can just shoot over the top of him.
We spoke about his form in the last 4 games, 0, 7, 7, and 8. Today, he has 17 in the first half. Hannes, 2 more. He's Adelaide's leading scorer with 8 points.
Off the bench. Giving him that scoring punch. First with the turnover.
Nice hands from Detch. Withers, catch and shoot 3.
Nothing happening from downtown for Adelaide. 1 of 13 from the 3. Another stop.
Johnson for Detch. That jumps out. Adelaide win it back. Hannah's at the top of the key.
His shooting woes continue.
Perth give it back. Detch. Thank goodness.
2 of 16 now for the Adelaide 36ers.
Someone had to put one in.
Well, the thing about it is that you've got to get to a point where you've got to put the cue in the rack for a period of time and look at other options. They just haven't been successful. Now, this one coming off the turnover, Detch wide open, and he knocks it down. But the successes they've had have come when they've run a little bit of action, a bit of off-the-ball movement, move the players around, and then get the penetration. Let's see what ScoMo's got to say.
100% there. Is that side that?
Okay. Assuming DJ's on you, Mitch has the ball. Bringing it down, you're in a bolt. Okay, now Bryce, as he's bolting like this, you're gonna try and flare DJ. He's gonna be behind him. He's gonna be trailing him, okay? But he's gonna respect his shot. So boom, boom. Vic, you're over here. Jesse's down, okay? If you see Mitch attacking, stay spaced. You're here, Royce is getting you. Yeah, shot here. Yes. You can go hand off with Todd over here if you want. Man, hey, we need that same.
Pretty calm and composed, the Wildcats. 41-29. 3:44 to play before halftime on Sunday Hoops. 41-29. Third meeting of the season between these two teams. Norton back into the lineup. Didn't play in their win on Monday night over Tasmania due to concussion protocols. Cotton up top.
Nothing but cotton.
That's right, and what a weapon it is, and just a really not a lot of action. 5 out, and a couple of little crossovers by Cotton, and just steps into it. Easy 3. I'm saying defensively, you just run him off it. Take the odds to him getting hot going to the rim in 2s. Take something away from him. Now, easier said than done, but gee whiz. Another three.
Highly contested.
Are they aware that they're 2 of 17?
Bryce crosses over, hand in the face.
Good Lord. Same result. First quarter, Blanchfield. Second quarter, my turn. 19 points in 12 minutes. That man is on fire, Gaze.
5 made threes for Bryce Cotton.
Well, Wildcats are on fire. 10 of 17 from the three-point line.
That's their 7th turnover, though. That's probably the only thing that won't please Scott Morrison. McCarron. The Hannahs, who gave up his look. Johnson pops into the corner. Off target. Long rebound, McCarron. Detch for 3. In comparison to everyone else, he's hot.
He is.
From outside.
And the last 2 he's made have come off second shots. And they're the hardest ones. You crash the boards, the extra pass. Doesn't matter what they do on the offensive end. They've got to find a way to slow this Perth Wildcats team down. Already at 47. Hello.
That's the 13th offensive rebound, Corey.
Doing a hell of a job on those old boys.
Hannahs trapped under the basket. Threw it away. McCarron scores.
That is how you make something out of nothing. Broken offense. He drives baseline, finds Mitch, and Mitch is a tough mid-range. Sunday Detch, back-to-back triples. Adelaide shooting 3 of 20 from 3. Somehow Dusty finds Mitch, and Mitch hits that mid-range off the one leg. Brings it back to 13.
It is, and
Hey, every time y'all shoot, I'm down there. Keep shooting the fucking ball.
Hey, why do you get on the glass? Just keep coming over the top so they don't get those bust outs. Okay?
They're not fucking with us, bro. You'll get some calls for this shit.
Back 4. Back 4. Todd. DJ. Macca. Dusty, you're in the back screen.
I'll tell you what they have done in this one is the Adelaide 36ers has been exceptional on the O boards. 13 offensive rebounds in the first half.
Yeah.
And they're winning the rebound counts 22 to 18. Now, clearly not as many offensive rebounding opportunities for the Perth Wildcats, but they only have the 1. And we heard Todd Withers in there saying, keep shooting the ball. I'm down there on the box getting the rebounds. And they have. They've got, like I said, 13 offensive of them. But I'm not sure that's good advice when you're 3 of 20 from the three-point line.
Law. Target. Rebounding has been a positive for Adelaide in the 2 games this season. They've been plus 16 in the rebound count combined.
They've also taken care of the ball. They only have 4 turnovers in this half. It's just a matter of that 3 ball not dropping, and they can't get stops on the other end.
Final minute before halftime. Detch forced into a tough 3. Johnson gives away a foul.
It was, and I don't know why they went away from him. They had Daniel Johnson on the box with Mitch Norton. Now, we know he's a warrior, but there's a huge size mismatch, and the craftiness of Daniel Johnson, just figure out a way to go to that mismatch, get him the ball on the box.
And Norton, quick play, 2-for-1 opportunity for Perth. He's got free throws coming. Signed a new 3-year deal in the off-season, Mitch Norton, so he's going to be a long-term part of this franchise now.
As he should.
There's a lot of interest from other teams, Corey.
He's put his work in. He's an exceptional guard. Brings exactly to this club what Shaley and Matthew Dellavedova brings from Melbourne United. Quality pickup. And he's learned under the best. Damian Martin.
Makes the second. The lead is 14. Withers. And McCarron. Down low to Johnson. Shot clock at 8. Withers gave up his 3 ball for Detch. Unsuccessful offensive rebound. Johnson blocked by Travers.
Deep by Luke.
My goodness.
He's caught a couple of legs on the way through now. Law with 3 seconds remaining. Floater goes. Vic Law on the halftime buzzer gives Perth their biggest halftime lead of the season. 16 points.
Half-time.
They are in control of this one.
Well, they certainly are, and for the life of me, I can't understand the Adelaide 36ers just continuing to blaze away from the three-point line, where they are 3 of 22. And they need to make some adjustments and find a better balance, because it's just not seeming to fall this afternoon.
Let's get to Case.
Todd Blanchfield, crazy start to the game. You were feeling it there in the first quarter?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to make some shots. It's just nice to be able to on the court and play some consistent games. You know, it's been a bit up and down this year with injury, but, you know, obviously to give up 40 in the second quarter is right now our target.
What's going to be key in the second half? You know Adelaide are going to come back at you.
For sure, you know, they're the best offensive rebounding team in the league for a reason. You know, they crash hard every possession. So I think for the most part we've been pretty good, but, you know, I think that's going to be a big focus of theirs going into the second half.
Boys in commentary have made a point about being home and recharging. Do you feel a little more energised after getting back to the friends and family?
For sure, you know, it's the little things like being able to, guys with kids wake up, see their kids in the morning, guys, you know, partners, wives at home, you know, get to spend some time with loved ones. So definitely a recharge, and it's, you know, back on the road after 2 days, but, you know, it's a small recharge, but it's better than nothing.
Great first half. Good luck in the second.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Todd Blanchfield there. The Wildcats have this on their terms well and truly. They scored the first 9 points of the game, and at halftime they enjoy a 16-point buffer. We've got more Hungry Jacks NBL from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre coming at you just in a moment.
It's half-time on Game 1 of Sunday Hoops. The Perth Wildcats have 50 at the half and look sharp. They lead it by 16 over the Adelaide 36ers. Todd Blanchfield has been outstanding with 17 points, and Bryce Cotton, the league's best player, starting to warm into things with 19. It's been a pretty slick half of basketball.
It has, and at both ends of the floor, Perth have been really good defensively, and the shocking stat really is the field goal percentages for the Adelaide 36ers, 26%. Now, they've had 49 field goal attempts, whereas the Perth Wildcats have had 28, and it's not as if they've had that many free throws. So it's the Adelaide 36ers have owned the offensive boards with 14 of those. But really, Todd Blanchfield came out and he set the pace from the perimeter. Bryce Cotton does what Bryce Cotton does on a regular basis, 6 of 10 from the field for his 19 points. And down the other end, Dusty Hannahs came off the bench with that 8 and Sunday Dench with the 10. But Homicide, I can't, you look at the stats, the one that sticks out is the three-point shooting for the Adelaide 36ers. 3 of 22, and it's like they've continued to persist with blazing away when that thing is not. Do they realise it's not going in, my brother?
I don't know. I don't know what they think, Gaze, honestly. They've taken 49 field goal attempts in a half. They are on schedule to shoot 100 field goal attempts. In what game do you see that many shots going up?
Well, you're giving credit for the old boards, though, Homicide.
Yeah, so, I mean, they shoot. This is the true definition of shooting your shot. Just not trying.
But they're not going in.
Let's have a look at Bryce Cotton.
No three-pointers.
No three-pointers here. This man has no issue shooting the three ball. Bryce Cotton, in fact, he's knocked down 5 of the buggers at halftime.
Man, he just took this thing over in the second quarter. Todd, I love how you set the tone for us, but second quarter belongs to me. On the defensive end, his hands are in the lane, his ability to put the ball on the deck and create for others. This is an unselfish superstar. One of the best to ever do it in this league as an import. He can kill you from outside. He can put the ball on the deck, and he still got bounce.
Hey, and you know what he's saying? Hey, Corey, all the little jibby-jabber you get carrying on about with the JLA and all your other boys that seem to jump on your bandwagon, he say, hey, don't forget about me.
I see it. And they have a great run home. They have a great run home when they get to REC. But I'm telling you, man, what I'm seeing right now is a team, again, I said it 2 times already in the first half. With this Soda Stream shot chart, they are well rested because they went home and recharged in their bed. They've been on the road for 64 days. Yes. They did not anticipate that, just like New Zealand. Same thing with New Zealand. They haven't had an opportunity to go home. But when you are on the road for that long and you get a chance to go home, even if it's for 2 days, that's all you need to get recharged. And this is what we're seeing, the result of that.
And as we head to the break, let's take a look at the Adelaide 36ers and their build-up to Indigenous round and how proud they are to wear the jerseys they're wearing today.
Indigenous people were the, first landowners of Australia, and we just want to pay our respects. And it's great that over the couple of years now they've got a whole round for it, and it's being heralded and celebrated. So we're really excited to wear these jerseys again. Shane, who designed our last year's jersey, has done a fantastic job, and he came in yesterday and spoke a bit to us. So we're looking forward to getting out there and representing the Indigenous people and the people of Australia, doing them proud. He talked a bit about his journey growing up and, finding his identity and not really recognising as an Indigenous man early on because he didn't know his roots. He didn't know where he came from until Jack, the other guy who came in with him as well. They connected when he was in high school and just talked a bit about his journey and how him meeting Jack, he was able to trace his roots and, get into painting and artwork and stuff like that. And he talked a bit about the jersey and how the sides here, I don't know if you can see it, they just represent the handprint, and kind of who you are and your identity, because everyone's got a unique handprint and fingerprint, so that was really cool. Hearing him speak, you get goosebumps because there was just a lot of similarities in, my journey and a lot of South Sudanese who we have an abundance of South Sudanese players in the league. So just to have that celebrated as long as the Kiwis and the Māori people and the Cook Islands. So it's really cool and something where it just brings unity and brings everyone together just to celebrate one culture and all the other cultures that are represented in the Indigenous round.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The 36ers down 16 at the moment. Coach Jamie Perlman, you're dominating the O-boards at the moment. You just can't get those second chance points.
Yeah, look, I feel like we've had a ton of open threes as well that just aren't going down right now. I feel like we're collapsing the defense. The ball's coming out. I think we're getting some good looks, not enough going down. But the biggest thing for me right now is one-on-one accountability defensively. It's like, you know, Cotton gets one hot, well, then we've got to deny him. We've got to play him tighter. We've got to make him put it on the floor. You know, Blanchfield got hot. Did we make that mental switch? You know, that, okay, we're really going to get into this guy and try and take some stuff away. So it's that one-on-one accountability right now that we're lacking.
Appreciate your time. Good luck.
They've got some work to do, the 36ers. Perth, on the other hand, their second highest first half of the season. They put 51 on Sydney in round 12 and actually lost that game. But today, 50 at the half. Looks pretty good. And unfortunately for the 36ers, as per the stat man Mark Slocum, the absolute best in the business, Adelaide have had 50 put on them at the half 6 times this season.
Yeah. And the thing about Adelaide's three-point shooting, where they're 3 of 22, they actually shoot less threes than anyone else in the competition. They only average 23 a game, and they've already had 22 in the first half. And Jamie Perlman was right. Some of them are wide open looks, just not going in. But if they're not, then you've really got to think of the alternatives like that. Find a way. Now, okay, they missed and get another shot at it, but rather than just continuing to blaze away, try and change the momentum, get the scoreboard ticking over other ways before you go back to that three-point shot, and there is just a bad closeout. Yeah, you've got to be conscious of Vic Law, but Withers just flops on him and goes to the line to shoot 3.
Let's get courtside to John Casey.
Yeah, we've noticed Adelaide 36ers have started Todd Withers here at the beginning of the second half. Now, that's because Kai SOTTO is not able to go at the moment. He suffered a cork thigh, and they've tried to keep him moving and on the bike and getting things done here to keep him warm. But the longer this goes, the tougher it's going to be to get him back into the caper.
Just saw him in the background there. Thank you, Cases. Got that right leg heavily strapped. Can see him there again. Not much fun, the old cork.
No, they can be very uncomfortable. It's usually the next day when you feel it the worst. At the time, you go, oh, gee, that's nasty, and you just sort of play through it, and then you wake up the next morning, and that's when it really kicks in.
Vic Law makes all 3. Third Wildcats player in a double figures. Cotton has 19, Blanchfield 17. And now Law with 11 on the back of 37 when they played in round 1. And 16 and 14.
Oh, beautiful.
And they played in round 7. Nice spin from Dufelmeyer.
Beautiful move. He has the ability to create off the dribble. He's a bit crafty with the ball, as we just seen.
Give and go play. Sees an easy bucket for Norton.
He demands so much coverage and attention. Cotton, all you have to do is cut. He will find you. And the shooting woes continue from the land of plenty. 3 of 23.
It's not plenty for them. Johnson on the move. It's a nice bounce.
But as we mentioned earlier, they're doing a really good job on the old boards. That's 16 offensive rebounds.
55-38. Still early stages in the third quarter. Up next on Sunday Hoops, we head to Kudos Bank Arena as Sydney take on Cairns. Milestone game today, number 150, also his 50th as a Perth Wildcat. Started today, and we'll have that opportunity for at least the next couple of weeks. Matt Hodgson not playing with a calf is listed as a tentative return date of March 20. Cotton knocks down his 6th treble.
That's one man you cannot go under.
No, you can't.
Ever.
And for a man who's had nothing but problems at this venue, in fact, when he's playing their 9 games, he's only won here twice. And he shot poorly in this venue He's certainly eradicated any of those problems.
That is a fact. Better late than never. Another offensive rebound. Another missed free ball.
3 of 25.
15 of 56.
Norton unsuccessful at the other end.
And on the flip side, it's 11 of 20 for the Perth Wildcats, where they've been really good. And these threes, finally, DJ gets one to fall. A lot of them have been wide open.
Yeah.
So in that case, do you keep shooting in that
No,
instance?
not when you got those numbers.
No. Now.
No.
Now, you don't put...
I don't think you were clear enough on that.
No, but
Could you just remove the grey from that, please?
Well, I'll make it a little greyer in that there are times when you're going through their spells, you say, okay, for the next 5-6 minutes,
No three.
Let's just continue to, unless it's in that last 4 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever it may be, we are going to penetrate either with the pass or with the dribble and explore other options for kickouts. But certainly not early in the offensive sets take those threes when you're shooting this poorly collectively from the three-point line. You never want to go gun shy. It just comes down to when you're going to take those threes.
Hiram Harris. Now McCarron got into the paint. Doesn't finish from underneath. Nice work from Johnson.
Fantastic work by Adelaide on the offensive rebounds. They're up to 18.
That's ridiculously high. They've got more offensive rebounds than defensive ones.
And field goal attempt, field goals made.
Yeah, that's right. And they're only shooting at 27% this time. These types of opportunities, I think, are going to be there for them with this small lineup. Someone like DJ, and even when Withers is in the game, to get on the boards.
They are the #1 offensive rebounding team in the competition, but no Cam Bairstow for them. Today's, we check in with John Casey.
Cam, students of the game would notice that Daniel Johnson's free throw shooting technique has changed this season. There was a hitch with the ball sliding out to the right there in his preparation. Now, I spoke with him pre-game and he said, yes, he has changed it. And his percentage, well, coming into this season, he was 86% last season. He's 82% this season. So, while it's gone down just a tad, I think if you're in the 80s, well, you take that every day of the week.
Be happy with the 80s, wouldn't you, Corey?
Yeah, I definitely didn't shoot 80. Shot about
That's not what I brought it up on.
70. I don't know, maybe about 74, 73. Stat man, help a brother out.
Do you want him to?
Yeah.
Dufemeier, well done.
Yeah.
He's given them something today, Tad Dufemeier, playing starters minutes. He's 2 of 6, has 3 rebounds. Make that 4. Travers, nice take.
Real nice take off the dribble.
But it's that easy. We heard Jamie Perlman talking at halftime as well, just about how they're going to guard this penetration, and that by Luke Travers is a relatively easy one.
Pass it. White 24. Hits. Pass the ball.
And it's just the fundamentals on the defense there. Slide your feet, keep them in front, keep going to the sideline. But just a simple catch and rip through puts a lot of pressure on your rotations and getting that weak side help, which there was virtually none on that last drive by Travers. And here's a little 2-3 zone by the Perth Wildcats.
McCarron. It's had to rattle home. He's had a few jump out of the cylinder today.
Nice take. The defense had him work hard.
At 29%, so they've had 61 field goal attempts as opposed to 34. And yeah, there's been some free throws in there. They've had 14 free throws, but not to the level we'd be thinking. Oh, there's another 3 that comes up short.
At some point, these threes are going down.
If you keep getting this level of disparity with your field goal attempts, hopefully you'd like to think that some of them would eventually drop, and you get right back in this ball game quick, but not with defense like that.
Good ball movement.
They're so
Finding the right
patient,
man.
so patient offensively.
Well, Homicide hit the nail on the head. They're unselfish, even with these superstars on the team.
India.
Shot clock down to 7. Malou fires from the corner. It's good.
Where he shoots his 3-ball in that corner.
And they're the
like
ones you don't
said,
mind.
you just talked
There's
about
like
that.
3 seconds left on you. We've explored it, all the
Where he shoots his 3-ball in that corner.
And they're the
like
ones you don't
said,
mind.
you just talked
There's
about
like
that.
3 seconds left on you. We've explored it, all the
All right, so I have a question.
What is your question?
Dusty Hannahs has been their spark off the bench in this game. Is this the first time we're seeing him in this third quarter with 3.5 left?
That is
Why
correct.
would that be?
Well, the only explanation I can think of is perhaps you're thinking what we've got to do on the defensive end and how you might be feeling a little vulnerable defensively. But right now, I think that they've almost got to trade off on that. Even if you know, he's got to do a better job, of course, but you almost trade off on that when you're struggling to find points.
Thank you.
Here's Jamie Perlman, stand-in coach for CJ Bruton. And this Kyle Zunic has checked into the game for his first minutes. He's recently returned from
blocking.
Australian duties with the Young Boomers team.
And Perth, with that foul, Perth are over the limit. So Adelaide shoots 2. And this right now, it's a great opportunity for Adelaide to get points, penetrate and get your feet in the paint to draw fouls, to get to the free throw line.
Absolutely, and given what we've seen, you kind of look at the scoreboard and although it's still a sizable margin with those 14 points, the way the game has been played out, you'd think that Perth Wildcats would have a much, much bigger lead, but it's still very much within touch for the Adelaide 36ers.
Perth in action next on Thursday. To start round 15, they take on Melbourne at John Cain Arena. What an enormous start to the round that's going to be. For the Adelaide 36ers, they'll play New Zealand in Tasmania on Saturday.
You shot better than me. I shot 67% from free throw.
I've had that sitting here waiting. Harvey King's first points of the game. There's Norton downhill. Law puts it back in. Hannahs to the other end. Nice finish. It's an 11-point game.
He actually is really good around the basket in making sure that he avoids the heavy traffic and seems to be able to get off reasonable shots in that heavy traffic.
That time caught Norton on the arm.
Well, these are the times when Michael Fraser's got to step up, particularly on the offensive end, if he's ever going. Him to be more active on the offensive end.
Blanchfield had 17 in the opening quarter. Hasn't scored since then. Steps out. That 3 misses. Foul over the back from Majuk. Just a little bit of momentum starting to go Adelaide's way here.
And now they walk 94 feet to shoot 2 free throws.
And to bring the lead back to single digits. So it's...
They're within striking distance.
A little bit of nervous time now for the Perth Wildcats. Their shooting's gone off the ball ever so slightly, and with Adelaide finding other opportunities to to score. And the rebounding's just becoming an issue for the Perth Wildcats. 32 to 24, they trail that category, and an incredible 19 offensive rebounds with still a quarter and 2:23 to play.
A single-digit game. Very important. 2:23 left in this quarter for both teams.
Manny Malou's played some good minutes off the bench. It's a 16-point lead at halftime for Perth. Adelaide have fought their way back in despite their shooting stats. They've hung around and they get another stop.
And it's turnover number 10 in the game for the Wildcats. That man has re-entered.
Yep. I think when it gets down to 9 and they've got the ball, I would imagine that Scott Morrison was hoping to be able to get up until three-quarter time, that type of rest for Bryce Cotton, but it's starting to get a little bit more concerning.
Malou out of control. Nice D from Norton. Here's Cotton. Travers in the corner. Perth can reset through Norton, who got downhill. Beautiful drop-off pass for Majuk.
His ability to just head full of steam, penetrate, draw the defense, and dishes it off. Big fella to get an easy 2.
Back out to 11. Not that time for Hannahs. Mojave King trying to stop Cotton. Conceives the foul. Adelaide's 4th of the quarter.
See, that's smart play by Bryce Cotton. He's got the rookie on him, or relatively rookie, and just drives in him. And unfortunately, I mean, there is not a lot in that. He was just a little stiff. On that one was King.
Long. Foul. It's good.
Again, that unselfish basketball play.
It is, but it's also recognizing that the guy I'm on with has got 3. So here he's on 3. So now I want to test him. Oh my goodness. Maybe it wasn't on King. Wasn't on King. I was going to say if that was on Withers. It was on King. Definitely on King. But even then, it looked like a soft foul.
Hannah's spin doesn't finish. Just his bearings on the way through. Oh. Cotton crosses over King, and then the pass for Majuk.
There's a man that's seen the game 1 or 2 passes ahead. He drives by as soon as he knows where the help is coming. Look at the little wraparound. Here's a little
in and out cross.
And then as soon as he sees DJ coming, he knows he's got Majuk down low. Gee whiz, that's just really good offense by Bryce Cotton.
I mean, as soon as he came into the game, it was a 9-point game. As soon as he came into the game, 1 pass, Vic Law, and 1. He gets a bucket.
He's plus 23 for a reason.
And he creates.
25. So he's got the highest, but right next to him is Bryce Cotton at plus 24, and you're spot on. Look at the scoreline now. It was a 9-point game, and he comes in and just makes something happen.
Shot clock winding down to 10 for the Wildcats. Hannahs has deserted on Cotton Island. And that is a lonely, lonely place.
It sure is.
It is. And right there, you see that he's giving him choice. You hear Jamie Perlin saying, get on his left. And you should be so far on that left that he's got to step back or he's got to do something miraculous to shoot a three. And you're not conceding the penetration, but you're saying, well, that's the lesser of two evils. Let's get him inside the three-point line and make him make a tough one or that extra pass just to get it out of his hands. But when he's got those types of choices to create that three ball, he's proven over a long period of time, it's too hard to stop Homicide.
On an island like that and you're playing flat, it's over. It's too good. You at his mercy.
He sits down.
Dude, he did. It went to 19.
His work here
they
is
was
done.
just
His work here is done. He changed the game in 2 minutes. This knockdown from Withers on the three-quarter time buzzer. It's a 16-point lead for the Wildcats with a quarter to play on Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. You're watching Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The third place Perth Wildcats are flexing their muscle. They lead by 16 at three-quarter time. Adelaide got it back inside single figures, but Bryce Cotton came back into the game, said, I'll take care of this, and gave them a double-digit lead coming into the last.
He just showed brilliance in about a minute and a half.
Yep. Just took control. It's either with the pass or the shot. And again, when they get a bit of a buffer, they try to find some rest for Bryce Cotton. Good little slip there. And they find the bucket. Find the foul on the shot. But there's a lot of remarkable things for the Adelaide 36ers. First and foremost, they got 70 field goal attempts.
Most games are around, what, the 60, 70 field goal attempts.
And compared to Perth, who had 42. Now, Perth, in fairness, have got 22 free throws. But let's just say 9 of those, because you've got a few and ones in there, 9 of those are not coming from field goal attempts. Even if you add that to their total, there's still a lot more shots going the way of the Adelaide 36ers.
Now, I have a question. Have you ever seen a game, a 40-minute game, with 90 field goal attempts? I've never seen that. And it looks like we may be heading there in this one.
Back in the day, Homicide, we used to let it fly. So I reckon...
Gazy had 90 himself. I'm not sure about the rest of the team.
Maybe not in a 40-minute game.
Where's Copes when you need him most?
No, not just me, but the game was different. Well, that's nice by DJ.
What's the most field goal attempts you ever had in a non-overtime game?
Would have been high 30s for sure. Yeah, for sure. But you reeled off those stats with Ian Davies the other day, and he had 13 of 24. I mean, 24 three-point field goal attempts by one person in the one game. Now, that is heroic.
Well, you put it into context. Perth have had 25 for today.
Yeah.
2 for Meyer. No, look, pass was nice for Withers. 3 doesn't go down.
Still unable to come up with some three-point makes. 6 of 31 this afternoon. Bryce Cotton about to check in. Great defense by DJ.
Johnson foul. We've just gone and done some digging, Dewey. Do you remember a game in 1987 against the Newcastle Falcons where
I do.
You had 39 field goal attempts?
I told you it was high 30s.
It also equated to 60. He had a 60-piece on the Falcons.
Yeah, and unfortunately we lost that one quite considerably, so it was nothing to be all that proud of. But it wasn't. It was just a different, obviously a different style of play to what we see now, and the level of athleticism in our game these days is way more than it used to be back then. And what it does is it creates more difficulties for the offense because the athleticism on the defensive end, it is a whole lot harder. And let's not forget, they were 48-minute games.
Right.
Still, 39 attempts is 39 attempts.
It's a lot.
When you shoot the ball the way you did, you can do whatever the hell you like. 27 for Cotton. Here's D from Adelaide. The crowd can sense something lifting here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. 2 for Meyer. Off the window, that jumps out.
They're the ones they need to drop just to put some a little bit more scoreboard pressure on the Perth Wildcats. Right now they're coming down and got this 11-point lead. Those 3 balls and actions that you see from the Wildcats are a lot easier with 11-point lead as opposed to a 7-point, 6-point lead. There's a travel, little shuffle of the feet at Homicide. There's just a stench about this that suggests that the Adelaide 36ers are well and truly still in this.
It is. Now it's time to make plays on the offensive end. Don't go gunshot. Keep them going. Keep letting them go. At some point, these threes, they're going to have to connect.
Well, they've been saying that the first 3 quarters and they're 6 of 31.
Don't start shooting now.
Maybe other options to find it to keep that scoreboard ticking over.
DJ's not going to stop. And why wouldn't he? They've scored the last 11, Adelaide.
At some point, they're going to have to drop. Keep shooting with confidence.
An 8-point game. Perth led in the 3rd quarter by 20. Adelaide have kept themselves in it.
Wow, Withers grabbed that. I don't think
that go. Should have let that go. It was your ball.
Yeah. Well, here is a little action for Daniel Johnson, and Majuk gets caught up in that screen. And this is a tough matchup for Majuk. He's got the size and the length, but DJ's so crafty with those fallaways. He can knock the 3-ball down. So this is going to be a testing time for Majuk with this matchup.
Nice play off the inbound. Forces McCarron to foul. 3 from 22, they shot the ball from outside in the first half, Adelaide. They were 3 from 8 in the 3rd quarter. They started well in this 4th. Giving themselves a chance. (18-9) for Vic Law. All NBL first team, Corey.
It's going to be tough because...
Please.
No. You have to have, you know the rules. 3 outside, 2 inside. Joe Lualachula's making it. Mitch Creek is making it.
So is Vic Law the other?
Vic Law's making it.
So who's the 2 players on the inside if Vic Law and...
Well, he can play the first spot.
Adams and Cotton.
Adams and Cotton, lock.
That's our 5, I think, isn't it?
So who are we going to have on the outside? Is Creek going to play the 3 or...?
3. Plays at 3.
Okay.
Vic Law at the 4.
Okay, well, there you go.
Either of those two. Tweedle Dee.
But hold on. Xavier Cooks, man.
He's in good form. We'll see the Kings up next against the Taipans on Sunday Hoops. Withers with rebound number 6. Meyer at the elbow. Uses McCarron up top. And Johnson. Pass for Withers was nice. Law blocked him. And Withers scores! Through the bump. And one play. Adelaide just will not go away.
It has been a tough night offensively for Withers. But his consistency in crashing the old boards, he gets that block, but he goes up, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck.
He does. That is a great block by Law.
Great block.
And then it was the early rotation. They sent Majuk on that double, and Bryce Cotton was there, but wasn't able to get in the lane for that pass. And 20 offensive rebounds for the Perth Wildcats. They've got 17 defensive. They're shooting it at 32% from the field. A paltry 21% from the three-point line, but they only trail it by 7 against the Wildcats, who are at 50 and from the field and 44 from the three-point line. The volume of shots has kept them in this ballgame.
Yes, it has.
It's been a strange old game, this one.
But this man is on the court.
Travers, a big knockdown for the Wildcats.
And I was almost prepared to put that into the poor shot selection in the context of the game, but he steps up and makes a huge one for the Wildcats.
Just showing the confidence and the self-belief in himself.
Here's Withers. Not that time. 7 of 34 from outside. 5 minutes remaining at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Norton threw it up with the left hand. Officials might take a look at this. The original call was a Perth ball. Not anymore.
They're going to review this. I think Jamie Perlman...
It's our ball. I'm going to have a timeout. Yeah. Still want a timeout on blue. Yeah.
Oh, still wants a timeout.
Timeout to blue.
I thought he was going there because he thought it was going the other way.
Jamie Perlman just wants to have a chat. 10-point game.
Hey, really close.
81-71. They're just hanging around at the moment, Adelaide.
Well, the referees needed to actually got together and overruled the original call. So that's why I think Jamie Perlman that time was prepared to call a timeout to review.
Correct.
But then even when he got the ball, he thought, no, I think we need a bit of a chit-chat about this. Just as a real pivotal time. This next 2 or 3 minutes is going to determine whether the Adelaide 36ers are a legitimate chance to cause what would be a remarkable turnaround based on the statistics.
Perth leading 81-71. If you think that you can score one from full court, there's $100,000 available, $50,000 from halfway in the Latrobe Financial Sharp Shot. You can enter now, win.nbl.com.au/Latrobe.
Mojave King in this game at a really, really crucial time as well. And
he's a 40% three-point shooter. Perhaps that's Jamie Perlman's reasoning. Mitch McCarron, 2 of 9 from the field. Perth get the ball back, and that's a missed opportunity for Adelaide out of the timeout, Corey.
Sure is. Not a high percentage offensive set. Good block.
King runs the floor.
Good pass.
Duffermeyer, no foul called.
Beautiful defense by Law. Goes straight up, hands vertical, and made a really good play to contest that shot without fouling.
We've reached 80 field goal attempts in this game by Adelaide.
Blanchfield, tip in.
And that's where the Wildcats find another way to put pressure on you. Crashing the offensive boards.
Well, Adelaide have done a good job on the boards by and large. Here it is, Travers again, goes in, misses that, and just sneaks underneath Tad Duffermeyer, who's had a really good game. In fact, a career high for Duffermeyer with his 15 points, 4 of 10 from the field. He's also got the 6 boards.
He's done a really good job.
Time's starting to become a factor for the home team.
Gotta go fast. Good double team by Perth.
Hook, 3 seconds. Withers. Gee, he's only just in the paint.
Gee, they're 3 offensive sets since the timeout
have not been ideal.
Less than desirable. Todd Withers comes out of the game. Timeout call.
That was really good rotations by the Perth Wildcats. They run their switch up the top, they get the mismatch, but although they change Cotton and interchange him down low with Norton, they like Norton guarding the low post.
All right. Mitch here, BC here, Vic here, okay? Hit, now we know Johnson's on you, right? Okay, Mitch, fly off this way, fake it this way so Johnson leans. BC's gonna ball screen him right there. Okay, LT, you're cutting from here, Todd, you're here. You start here, when Vic catches it here, wherever he catches it, let Mitch go off him, he's gonna fake it, then it's ball screen. Hey, press break here, you throw it in, you 2 in the hot. Don't you expect to run the jump, expect the shadow. Expect the shadow.
3 minutes and 35 remaining. This is the first of our doubleheader on Sunday Hoops. Coming up next, the Sydney Kings will take on the Cairns Taipans. Big crowd expected again at Kudos Bank Arena.
As there should be.
Kings are playing really entertaining basketball.
Very nice. They
hottest team in the league, Gaze. 5 straight W's.
I know, but the margins haven't been all that significant. Some real
exciting
heart in your mouth type finishes, but they're getting the results.
Law, offensive putback.
Law is a stud. He just got 20 points now, got 10 boards. And 22, in fact, with those 10 boards, just gets it done.
What are we doing? No, don't do that.
Scott Morrison, he didn't want that. He wanted a switch, and they ended up staying in a red or a blitzing action with 2 on the ball. And straight away, no, we don't want to do that, and you can see why. At this stage of the game, just want to keep them on the perimeter, and that double team, without the pressure on the ball, they're able to pass out of it, Homicide. If you're going to double team someone and make it a numerical advantage off the ball, if you don't put pressure on the ball and they can get out of it at this level, they're going to find the open man.
As they did. Got an easy layup because of it. As you heard, ScoMo, we don't want that. No. Made you pay. 12-point game.
Vic Law's 5th double-double of the season.
He's bounced back. He had a 3-game skid where he did not play well. He started off hot and on fire. Dropped a little bit, but he's picked it back up the last 3 games, this one included.
Still with Matt Hodgson to come back in from a calf injury. Kevin White missing today for personal reasons. Just think about what it's going to be like for Perth as players and for Western Australian basketball fans on Sunday, March the 20th.
Yeah.
When they go to RAC Arena for the first time in a long time to play host to the New Zealand break.
Well, remember what it's like when they knew they were going to be away for a while. They played, I think it was the Cairns Taipans, their last home game. They had 13,500 there.
They were locking them out.
So they're going to be up and about because there's a lot to like about this Perth Wildcats team. Another season where you've got a genuine championship contender.
Blanchfield was the one that got them going at the start. He might be the one to finish it.
Yeah, just too many points for the Adelaide 36ers to try and defend, and just haven't been able to guard the three-point line. Good Lord. I don't mind the penetration, but I think he threw that where he thought there was going to be a flare. But this is good little set action. That little slot cut that they had with the cutter just gets the guy to bite a little bit off Todd Blanchfield. And like I said, with that size, he can shoot over the top of defenses that close out.
Time is their friend. Now Perth, they can take their full 24. Cotton for Norton.
Man,
so good.
Just picking apart that defense off the dribble. His ability to create for others. It's a beautiful thing to see when he's in this type of mode. 27 points and 7 helpers to go with it.
This little genius, this little superstar, he's plus 32 in the game.
Man.
So when you consider some of the runs that the Adelaide 36ers had, they got it back to 7, let's not forget, a few minutes ago. And when he hasn't been on the floor, the Perth Wildcats haven't functioned as well. And they've done a good job getting a little bit of rest for Cotton. He's only played, well, I want to say only, he's had 27 minutes, which... Oh, excuse me, no, he's had 30 minutes. So he's had still a bit of time on the bench. He'll probably finish this one out around 31 or 30 minutes. I doubt you'll see him again. So in 30 minutes, the little maestro, he's 6 of 10 from the three-point line. He's got 27 points, 7 assists.
And honestly, he was resting on offense because of the fact that Todd Blanchfield handled everything in quarter number 1.
And Vic Law
came in quarter number 3.
Yeah, they got some good weapons they can go to.
Now Law steps out. Adelaide 36ers are going to drop 3 at home in a row for the first time since November 2014. They've always had such a great record at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, but they're just...
Well, this is impressive defensive.
They're not a great way right now.
To hold any team in this competition is 73% at 31%. And you've had to guard them a lot because they've had 84 field goal attempts.
Side ball. Side out.
They've done a great job on the 20 offensive rebounds. They've won the rebound count.
They've taken care of the ball. 6 turnovers.
Yeah, just haven't been able to put it in the hole. Haven't been able to score. Sunday Dench hasn't been shy from the three-point line either. 2 of 12. Nice slip. Zunic with a good pass. Jack Purchase seeing the last minute action, or 30-odd seconds.
Spent some time with the 36ers last year. Jack Purchase, 9 games.
Indeed.
Now with the Wildcats.
In the NBL 1 competition when the NBL season finishes. I think Daniel Johnson might be suiting up for them as well.
He'd be fairly handy. Now here's a young man that you're as well, 21 years of age.
Has a lot of tools to work with.
Comes from a basketball. His dad was the general manager of NBA Australasia, Phil Hayes Brown, and so he's been around the caper.
The Perth Wildcats had lost 4 of their last 6 coming into today. Fresh in body, but most importantly, fresh in mind. They come out today and give Adelaide the business on their home floor, 92-73.
Well, not without a little scare. The Adelaide 36ers, they battled away, and just the volume of shots, 85 field goal attempts as opposed to the Perth Wildcats 57. Now, admittedly, like I said, there were a lot of free throws, 27 free throws, but even taking that into consideration, it's still a heavy amount of extra field goal attempts the Adelaide 36ers had with their 20 offensive rebounds. But just right from the start, you saw this steely resolve by the Perth Wildcats to not allow head starts. As we mentioned, 10 times this season, they've trailed by 10 points in the first half. And it was an area of concern, but if this afternoon's any indication, looks like they've found, whether it's their pre-game routine, whether it's something else they've gone to figure out how to avoid that, and they did it this afternoon.
3 more games on the road after this one, and they will be back at home at RAC Arena to finish the season with a bunch of home games. They're headed for the finals. It's just a question of which spot on the ladder they're going to finish, Corey.
Agreed. They are a top 4 team. I've conceded to that. Forget the 35 consecutive years.
That's not in doubt?
Not in doubt. No more in doubt.
You weren't silly enough to say that that was in doubt at some stage.
I was.
Dear me. Come on. Come on, man.
I'm no longer in doubt.
Is this a public apology? That's as good as it's going to get.
That's as good as it's going to get.
Let's get to John Casey.
Bryce Cotton.